Well, just an avalanche of feedback to my interview with Donald Trump and Mercedes Schlapp. There was one moment when I felt like I finally got a pretty candid answer about why Donald Trump spends so much time and energy going after the press. Not saying he shouldn't,
right,
but he's doing it 2 in the morning, 7 in the morning. So it was when Trump said, yeah, it's good when I fight them. First of all, it makes me feel good. And second of all, takes away credibility. You have to fight for yourself. That's the problem with our country. We don't fight for ourselves. What do you think?
Well, I think Donald Trump has a point to a certain extent. I don't know about the feel-good part, but on the credibility part, because I think Americans for so long, they go to the media to get their news, and they want the fair and objective analysis of what's going on. And what we've seen with just the amount of choices of news now, and how you have more that are more right-leaning, more that are left-leaning, he's willing to take on whoever's going to take on Donald Trump. And I think that's an admirable quality about him.
Right, and the way he connected it, I thought he was not being particularly mysterious about it. It portrays him as being a fighter.
Right.
A lot of people don't like the media. I mentioned that in one of my questions to him. Is this a strategy on your part to please your base? This despises the media. And he said, no strategy. But the more that he is putting up his dukes, as they used to say, and fighting with journalists who are taking him on, or commentators or columnists and bloviators, people see him, they go, yeah, hit him again.
Right, and it's very unlike what politicians normally do, right? So you don't see it as much. It's become a new narrative in the Republican Party to go after the media. We saw this in one of the debates where Ted Cruz made it a point to, go after the media and
the moderators and the stupid questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that this is something that it obviously has gained steam, and I think for Donald Trump, he's used it to his advantage. Interestingly enough, though, with the conservative media, he treats them a little bit differently. I think there's a sense of high respect for the Mark Levins, for the Rush Limbaughs.
This also came up in the interview.
Exactly, and it was one of the reasons why, for example, when he hit Cruz really hard, and Mark Levin and Rush came out and said, look, why are you attacking one of our conservative guys? He pulled back.
Right. It's interesting, some of the email and Twitter comments I got, people were talking about, well, the liberal media beating up Trump. We spent a fair amount of time talking about Charles Krauthammer and George Will and Rich Lowry and other notable conservative commentators,
right,
who, as I tried to tell Trump, yes, they don't like him and they make no secret of it because they don't feel he's a true blue conservative. He's not necessarily running as a true blue conservative.
That's exactly right. I think that you put Charles Krauthammer, George Will, and Stephen Hayes into sort of what we would call the conservative thinkers, the intellects. Mm-hmm. And so that's not who Donald Trump is trying to reach.
Right. He's
trying to reach, again, we were talking about a lot of those people who are supporting him don't have college educations. Some of them do, but when you look at the poll numbers, clearly what he's looking for is for that grassroots base, the caucus goer, the primary voter, that yes, they respect a Charles Krauthammer, but they like what Donald Trump is saying.
To some extent, as Bill O'Reilly told them, I don't totally agree with this, does the hitting back all the time and calling them losers and idiots and frauds, does it make Trump look petty or obsessive?
Well, it works right now in the primary. I'm not sure how much he can get away with it in a general election. Right now it's a matter of elbowing your way into the nomination. I think once you become the front runner, do you shift into the sort of presidential mode where you become a sort of statesman, where you try to unify the party, where maybe it's not again attacking the media. However, I think Donald Trump will continue with this strategy. I think it's been working for him, and I think if it starts not working for him, Howie, he's gonna change gears, I think.
I'll tell you what, it hasn't. All these attacks on the media haven't stopped all the shows from having him on. He was called into Fox and Friends before our interview. The next morning, phoning into the Today Show. So he's still big box office for the media.